Close your eyes for a moment and take a slow breath. Feel the air enter and leave, like a gentle wave. Now open your eyes and look at your life for a second. Think about how many times your day changes because of a single thought. A small worry in the morning can ruin the whole mood. Small hope can give you energy for hours. Buddha noticed this long ago. He did not start with the world. He started with the mind. He understood that before any action happens, something happens inside. A thought appears, then a feeling rises, then a word comes out, then an action follows. Most people live as if they are only reacting to life. But Buddhism teaches something very different. It says your mind is leading your life, even when you do not realize it. Your mind is like the hidden driver. The body is simply following. When the mind is angry, the hands become rough, the voice becomes sharp, the heart becomes heavy. When the mind is calm, the same hands become gentle, the same voice becomes soft, and the same heart feels open. This is why Buddha said the mind is everything. It's not because the outside world is fake, but because your experience of the world is created inside your mind. Two people can walk through the same street. One sees danger everywhere, the other sees ordinary life. The street is the same, the mind is different. And slowly, if you start to notice this, you will feel something powerful. You will realize that the biggest battle is not outside. The biggest battle is inside. And the biggest victory is not controlling others. It is understanding your own mind. Now, once you accept that the mind is leading, a new question appears. If the mind is leading, then what is it feeding on all day? Thoughts. And thoughts are not just words. Thoughts are like seeds. They fall into the soil of your mind and grow quietly. Buddha taught that what you think again and again becomes your inner nature. If you repeat fear, fear becomes familiar. If you repeat anger, anger becomes easy. If you repeat self-hate, you start living as if you deserve pain. This is why Buddha warned people to be careful with their mind, the same way you would be careful with fire. Fire can cook your food, but it can also burn your home. Thoughts can build your life, but they can also destroy your peace. Many people say, it is just a thought. But a thought repeated becomes a habit, and a habit becomes a personality. Then people say, that is just who I am. But Buddhism says, who you are is something you are creating every day. It is not fixed. It is not permanent. It is shaped by what you keep holding inside. When you begin to choose better thoughts, not fake happy thoughts, but clear and kind thoughts, you start becoming stronger. Your face becomes lighter. Your reactions become calmer. Even your decisions change. Slowly you start seeing what Buddha meant. You become what you think. Not in one day, but in 1,000 small moments. Each moment is a brush stroke. Oh, your life is the painting. But there is one more secret. Even if you know thoughts shape you, life can still feel heavy because the mind never rests. It keeps running. Past, future, past, future. Regret, worry, regret, worry. Buddha saw that this restless movement is a big source of suffering. A calm mind is not a luxury. It is a foundation for a peaceful life. Imagine a glass of water. When it is shaken, you cannot see through it. Everything looks unclear. But when it becomes still, the water becomes clean, and you can see clearly. Your mind is the same. When it is disturbed, your judgment gets weaker. You say things you do not mean. You overthink simple problems. You feel tired without doing anything physical. But when the mind is calm, you think clearly, you speak wisely, and you feel a quiet confidence. Buddhism teaches calmness through mindfulness and meditation, but not as a trend, not as a performance. It is a simple practice. Sit, breathe, notice. Thoughts will come. Let them come. Do not chase them. Let them go. Return to the breath, like returning home. Slowly, the mind learns it does not have to run all the time. And when the mind is calm, life becomes peaceful, not because everything becomes perfect, but because you stop adding extra suffering to everything. You stop fighting reality. You start meeting life with steadiness. As the mind becomes calmer, you start noticing something surprising. Your reality begins to feel different. And you realize reality is not just what happens. Reality is also how you see what happens. Buddha taught that people suffer not only because of pain, but because of the story the mind adds. First there is pain, then the mind says, this should not happen. I cannot handle this. This is unfair. That second part is optional, but most people do it automatically. This is why two people can face the same loss and experience it differently. One becomes broken for years, another becomes wiser over time. The event is the same, and the meaning is different, and meaning is made by the mind. If your mind is filled with fear, you will see threats everywhere. If your mind is filled with jealousy, you will see competition everywhere. If your mind is filled with gratitude, you will see blessings even in ordinary days. Buddhism does not say to lie to yourself. It says to see clearly. To see things as they are, not as your fear makes them look. Mindfulness is like turning on a light in a dark room. The furniture was always there, but you kept hitting it because you could not see. When awareness comes, you stop crashing into your own thoughts. You stop making a small problem a big disaster. Stop turning one mistake into a lifetime label. Slowly, your reality becomes softer. Your life does not become perfect, but it becomes real, clear, less dramatic, more peaceful. Now comes the part where most people feel stuck. They say, I understand this, but my mind still pulls me back. That is where training comes in. Buddha never promised instant change. He promised a path. A path means steps. Training the mind is like training a muscle. You do not lift a heavy weight on the first day. You start small. In Buddhism, training starts with awareness of the breath, awareness of the body, awareness of feelings, awareness of thoughts. Each time you notice your mind wandering and bring it back, you are training it. It is not failure when the mind wanders. Wandering is normal. The training is returning again and again, gently, like teaching a child to walk. Over time, the mind becomes less wild, less impulsive, less addicted to drama. And then you feel a kind of power that is very quiet, but very deep. It is the power of not being easily shaken. Someone says something rude and you do not explode. A problem appears and you do not panic. You still feel emotions, but emotions do not own you. This is the power Buddha talked about. It's not power over people, but power over yourself. And that power creates freedom, because freedom is not doing whatever you want. Freedom is not being controlled by every thought that appears. When the mind is untrained, negative thoughts become like thieves. They steal your energy. They steal your joy. They steal your focus. One negative thought can drain an entire day. Buddha taught that anger is a fire that burns the person who holds it first. Jealousy is a poison you drink while hoping someone else gets hurt. Fear is a prison you build and then forget the key. Negative thoughts do not always look dramatic. Sometimes they look normal. I am not good enough. People will judge me. I always fail. Nothing will change. These are not facts. These are thoughts. But when you believe them every day, they become your reality. Buddhism teaches you to notice negativity with honesty, not with shame. You do not have to hate your mind for being negative. You just have to stop feeding it. When a negative thought arises, notice it like you notice a cloud. You can say, a negative thought is here. Then you return to the breath, return to the present, return to what is real. Slowly, negativity loses its grip. You do not become a robot, you become free. And when negativity reduces, your energy returns. Your sleep improves, your confidence improves, your relationships improve. Not because life changed, but because the mind stopped leaking strength. Now, some people misunderstand Buddhism and think it is only about avoiding negativity. But Buddha also taught the power of wholesome states of mind. Positive thinking in Buddhism is not fake smiling. It is not pretending everything is fine. It is building a mind rooted in kindness, compassion, patience, and wisdom. When you practice loving kindness, you are not just being nice. You are training your mind to feel safe. You are training your mind to be less reactive. A mind filled with kindness is strong because it does not need to fight everything. A mind filled with compassion is strong because it can face pain without hatred. When you choose wholesome thoughts, you are building inner strength. You start speaking better. You start treating yourself with respect. You become more forgiving, not because you are weak, but because you are wise enough to not carry unnecessary burdens. Buddha taught that the mind becomes what it repeatedly reflects on. So if you repeatedly reflect on gratitude, the heart becomes softer. If you repeatedly reflect on patience, the mind becomes steady. And when you have inner strength, life becomes easier to handle. People may still disappoint you. Problems may still appear, but you do not collapse. You bend, you learn, you rise. That is real strength, and Buddhism builds that strength from inside. As this inner strength grows, a beautiful gift appears. Awareness becomes sharper. And awareness is like holding the remote control of your own life. Without awareness, life runs on autopilot. You get angry before you even know you are angry. You scroll mindlessly. You eat without tasting. You speak without listening. You worry without solving. Buddha taught mindfulness because mindfulness makes you present, and presence gives you choice. When you are present, you can see the thought before it becomes a reaction. You can see the emotion before it becomes an explosion. You can pause, and in that pause, you can choose. You can choose silence instead of harsh words. You can choose breath instead of panic. You can choose understanding instead of blame. This is why Buddhism says awareness gives control. Control does not mean forcing the mind, it means knowing the mind. When you know what is happening inside you, you stop being a puppet. You stop being dragged by every mood. You become the watcher, the calm observer. And the observer is powerful because it is not drowning. It can see clearly. It can choose wisely. Many people search for control outside, controlling people, controlling situations. But real control is internal, is mastering the moment inside you. And mindfulness trains you for that, gently, daily, like a lamp that slowly becomes brighter. But awareness alone needs support, and that support is discipline. In Buddhism, discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect. It is choosing the path even when the mind wants comfort. It is choosing practice even when you feel lazy. It is choosing wise speech even when anger wants to shout. Buddha taught the middle path, not extremes. Not harsh control, not careless freedom, just steady practice. Discipline can be simple. A few minutes of meditation daily. A habit of breathing before reacting. A promise to speak truthfully and kindly. A decision to stop feeding the mind with toxic content. These are small steps, but small steps repeated become transformation. Discipline makes the mind strong because it teaches the mind you are in charge. When you keep promises to yourself, confidence grows. When you break promises daily, self-trust dies. Buddhism builds self-trust through small, consistent actions. And when the mind becomes disciplined, it becomes stable. Praise does not inflate you. Criticism does not destroy you. You stop swinging like a pendulum. You become balanced. This balance is not cold, it is warm and wise. You feel emotions, but emotions do not throw you away. You feel pain, but pain does not become your identity. And finally, everything comes together in one simple truth. When you master your mind, you change your life. Not because you become perfect, but because you become free. Buddha's message was never about becoming someone special. It was about seeing clearly and suffering less. When the mind is mastered, fear becomes smaller, anger becomes shorter, worry becomes quieter. You stop taking every thought as a command. You stop living inside stories. You start living inside reality. You begin to understand impermanence, that everything changes, so you stop clinging so tightly. You begin to understand compassion, that everyone struggles, so you stop hating so easily. You begin to understand mindfulness, that this moment is all you truly have, so you stop wasting it in endless mental noise. A mastered mind does not mean a silent mind forever. It means a mind that you can guide, a mind that you can return to peace, a mind that can hold pain without becoming cruel. This is the superpower Buddha was pointing toward. It is not a magical power. It is a human power. It's the power to choose your inner state, the power to respond with wisdom. It's the power to create peace inside, even when the outside is imperfect. And when you carry peace inside, your whole life starts changing because wherever you go, your mind goes with you.